Welcome to a new headline, GCSE Results 2020, a look at the grades proposed by schools. Yep, this came out on the 15th of June and we now have a pretty good picture of the grades schools are giving their Year 11 students this year. So this comes from FFT. This is the organisation that tells everybody's school in the country what sort of target grades to set for their students. Yep, your target grades came from FFT. And what's happened is that over half of your schools, 1,900 schools, have sent their grades into FFT and said, look, do these grades sound sensible? What do you think? Well, as I showed you in this video in April, 75% of you are probably going to get good grades. And this is what FFT have found from the 1,900 schools they've looked at. So the number of students being given a grade 4 or above in English language has increased from 71% to over 80%. And in English literature, it's increased from 73.7% to 79%, and in maths from 72.5 to 77.6. So as I also predicted in that video, your teachers will over-predict. On average, they're going to increase everyone's grade by half a grade. Now, I didn't know that for certain, but I had a pretty good idea. And now we can see on this graph where the grades are. So in this colour, I'm colourblind, so I'm going to call that pink. You have the grade that was awarded last year as an average grade, and now we have the average grade according to the 1,900 schools who have submitted their grades. Well, obviously, you might be very interested in lots of those subjects, but we are going to zoom in on English language. You can see your teachers are over-predicting by half a grade based on last year. What about literature? That's a much smaller gap, about a third to a half of a grade. Okay, well, that's what it looks like for all the subjects across the country. What is the exam regulator going to do when they see this pattern for every single subject? Well, obviously, as I explained in my previous video, they're going to make a statistical adjustment. So your actual grades will be somewhere between where the pink blob is and where the blue blob is. So you won't get grades as high as your teachers are predicting, but because your teachers on average are predicting so high, you will do as well as students did last year, or even a little bit better. Now you might be asking, are schools taking the mickey and just putting in really inflated results? No, they're not. They're being really careful about the results they think students can get. Only 69 schools out of 1,900 increased a grade for every subject. So no, schools are not taking the mickey. What's happened is teachers are having to make educated guesses on a future which is uncertain. We all know that you would have improved from your mocks. We just don't know by how much. And another reason pointed out by John Dickens in this article is that for many subjects the GCSEs are new and therefore it's even more difficult to reach an accurate prediction. But right at the beginning of this process I let you know that the regulator Ofqual said final grades will more often differ from those submitted by teachers. In other words, 50% of you will have your grades change. Okay, so your next question is going to be, well, what if I don't get the grade I need or I want or think I deserve? Well, one option is you can retake the exam. Obviously, you're not actually retaking it, but you already have a grade, so it will be like a retake. And the latest bet is that GCSEs will be in November and A-levels will be in October. That's not certain yet, but that's the latest thinking. And then many students say, well, what if my grade goes down in the November exam? That won't matter. The best grade will count, the one you get given in August or the one you get after your retake. The next question is, well, can I see what my teacher gave me so that I know whether the exam boards move my grade up or down? This will give me a good idea as to whether I should take the exam in November. And the answer is yes, you can see that. Your school has to show it to you. It's not clear yet whether you have to ask the school or whether the schools will just give those grades out anyway, and I suspect the government will just say it's up to the schools how they do it. But absolutely 100% you have the right to ask to see your grade once your results come out. You can't ask before, but once your results come out in August, you can ask what your teacher grade was, what grade got sent off to the exam board. And as you know, the school put everyone taking the subject in a rank order from top to bottom, and you might want to know what your rank order was. Were you ahead of your friend or your rival or your boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever? Can you find out the rank order? And the answer is no. You can't ask to find out. Well, you can ask. The school does not have to tell you where you were in the rank order, and they've been advised not to. So you won't find out where you were in the rank order, but you will find out, if you ask, what your grade was in each subject. I hope you found that helpful. Do subscribe if you want further updates. The government's going to make another update on Friday, I think, when we'll find out more about these exams and even whether you'll be able to sit them in school or whether they will be in completely different buildings. So lots more to find out on Friday. I hope you're using your time not to think about your GCSEs, but to prepare for subjects you're passionate about that you're going to be taking at A-level. Get ahead! See you soon on my channel.